This week's Michigan Lottery Excellence in Education winner is Connie Beeson-Steger. And congratulations to you. We have a video from your nominator. Let's take a look.
When I first heard about the Excellence in Education Award, Mrs. Beeson-Steger was the very first person I thought of. As one of her former students, I felt compelled to nominate her, as she is one of the most kind, caring, and energetic, upbeat people you will ever meet. She is also very compassionate about her job in teaching, though, as she always incorporates fun into her lessons and making sure everyone's voice is heard in a professional manner. Outside of the classroom, though, she is just as excellent, spreading awareness for good causes, supporting veterans, and even counseling students if they need it. She is always in the hallway, and she always has a smile on her face. Mrs. Beeson-Steger is a great role model, and she is truly one of a kind. Out of everyone in the world, she is the one that deserves this award.
What goes through your mind when you were watching that?
I love that young man so much. And what a blessing. I think what a tremendous blessing that a high school student would take time out of their busy lives to send in a video about a teacher. I feel so blessed right now, Bob.
I love that. Yeah, it's such time that they took to honor you.
They're busy. They're really busy texting these days.
Tell me why you wanted to be a teacher.
Well, I had a lot of teachers who impacted me in high school. One of them, Jefe, Senor Dine. And, teachers really change lives. They encourage you, they push you, they open new doors and windows for you. And I actually was going to be an international lawyer. I went to Michigan State and got a job out in DC. And my boss said, you should teach English in Japan, Bob. And I said, I don't speak Japanese. And he said, that's okay. And lo and behold, I'm on the plane to Japan. I spent 3.5 years teaching English in Japan and fell in love with it. Wow. Young people are amazing. Well, people are amazing of all ages, but there's just something special about young people who are open and kind and loving and just want to learn and explore the world with you. So after I did that, I came home and got my second degree in education, and I have 23 years now teaching in the United States and 4 overseas. I can't think of a job that is not a job. I feel teaching is like a calling. It's like a mission field in the world, and it's a job that I look forward to going to each and every day because of young people like Brock Adams.
I love that. How do you make teaching come alive?
Well, I think one of my favorite brain research is Dr. Jensen, and he says if the bum is numb, the brain is the same. That's with any age level of any class, right? So I try to use a lot of engagement strategies. We're up and moving all the time. I like music. I like collaborative activities. I like group structures. I like them to have a chance to throw ideas off of each other all the time. I don't have a sit and get classroom. And if I did, I'd be appalled. Right? So I try to incorporate the best brain strategies, the best teamwork, collaborative effort to get the most out of where they're at psychologically and what I know about brain research in the classroom. So I want my classroom to be a dynamic, exciting place that they look forward to coming each and every day, because I do.
I love that. You have events in your classroom. Tell me about maybe one that you're most proud of.
Well, one of the events I'm most proud of would be the annual Veterans Day. We don't have an active military base in Michigan, but I'm the child of a Vietnam vet. All my grandparents served in World War II and a great-grandfather in World War I. And I don't serve myself, but I'm so thankful to all of those who served to protect all of us. So whether I'm teaching U.S. history or world history, having a knowledge of the conflicts, wars, albeit whatever we're involved in, is really important. So every year we honor Veterans Day, and my students help plan the event. We invite their family members, their neighbors, their friends in. It's like a round robin where they get to meet veterans from all different eras, from the Korean War to the Vietnam War to the Afghanistan, the current conflicts, to high school students who are now serving. So I really love to bring history alive. And one way to do that is by people who've been there on the ground. We also have a lot of guest speakers in as well. Whether I'm teaching about India, I'll bring in some Indian colleagues as well. We like to bring food who doesn't like to eat, Bob? I like to bring food into the classroom whenever I can, into my world history classroom. And then when I teach economics, we bring in local businesses to come and talk about what it's like to be a sole proprietor in Midland, or what it's like to be part of a corporation. If there's a person I could bring in, we're going. And actually, May 5th, we're going to the Holocaust Center. Every summer I try to write grants, and Midland supports this. And so I'm taking all my freshmen to the Holocaust Center, which is awesome. We went and saw the movie 1917. Who doesn't want to do that in a day at school, right? Come on, that's fun.
I love it. You're making learning fun for kids. Fast forward for me.
Sure.
20 years from now, you run into a former student. What do you hope that student talks to you about their experience in your classroom?
Well, one of my favorite people said, I may not remember what you have to say, but I'll always remember how you made me feel. I hope they say, Miss Beeson-Steger, I loved being in your classroom. And if they remembered a lot about economics, that would be awesome, right? And if they remembered about, the Genghis Khan and the Silk Road or trade routes, awesome. But if they just remembered that they were wanted, they were loved, they were safe, and they valued and they were heard, I'd be happy.
Well, thank you for what you do. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you to the Excellence in Education Foundation. Thank you for honoring teachers.
Connie receives a $1,500 check from the Michigan Lottery, and her class at Midland High School receives a $500 grant. Excellence in Education Award sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, providing more than $27 billion to public education since 1972.